teaching girls how to stand strong. So I hear they're standing strong girls over here, standing strong girls over here. And I'm thrilled to see you guys here. Oh, there you are up there. Hey, standing. I want my children to be happy. Okay, so now they're happy. So then what's gonna make you really happy? So I came from the other side of the world to help you better articulate that question for you, because I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy. And I worked at it. And I worked at it. It's a discipline for me. It's a spiritual practice for me. And since I was a little girl growing up in Mississippi, anytime I got the slightest chance to have anything, I wanted to share it. So those women like, you need to. And he said, well, this isn't the man I want to be, keeping you waiting. And I will tell you, this will never happen again. And it has not. But what I realized, even in the midst of it, as I'm, going through my thing, that what I really want is validation. I want validation for the fact that, number one, I've been in this kitchen all day and you didn't have enough regard for me to call me and let me know you were going to be late. So right now, let me give a shout out to every woman in here who has made a goose, a chicken, a lamb, a piece of fish. Because, let me tell you, I don't have to do it. I do it on the weekends. But I tell you, what it takes to do that every single day, to change menus, to come up with something new the next day, oh my goodness. Not just day after day and year after year after year after. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. Let me validate you for that. It's an extraordinary thing that gets taken for granted throughout the world, that women do that, and the food's on the table, and the kids just like, whoa, we're supposed to eat. So, validation, understanding that every single person that you encounter, and particularly those you're working with or in close relationship with, they are looking to know the one thing. And this is with your children also. You can stop an argument just by saying, I hear what you're saying, and repeating back to that person exactly what they're telling you. I just was doing this the other day with somebody having a meltdown. It will stop a meltdown, because a meltdown is about not being heard. Not being heard. I see you. I hear you. And what you say means something to me. Even if I can't do what you want me to do, just knowing that you heard me, that you felt me, and that what I said mattered makes a difference. And then shifting that to, how can you use that to serve the other person? My show took off when I made the shift to service, but my life took off when I recognized that I was really in the driver's seat. I was the master of my fate. I was co-creating my life. And you are co-creating your life, Perth. This is how you're doing it. This is how you're doing it. We all understand the law of gravity. We accept it. We know it. We know that what goes up comes down. You throw something up, absolutely, that water's going to flow down. If it goes up, we are all in trouble. The same thing is true for this, my favorite law in physics. It's called the third law of motion. To me, this is my deepest belief. This is my doctrine. This is the most powerful law in the universe. Bam! Wow. And it works whether you believe. It doesn't require belief. It's working right now. Newton said it. For every action, bam! There's an equal and opposite reaction. Now what that means is, in different parts of the world, people call it the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But what it really means is that the energy that you're putting out, the thoughts that you're putting out, the actions that result as a reason for those thoughts, that is always coming back to you all the time. Now, it's energy, it's law. The golden rule used to didn't bother me because I thought, well, if I was talking about her, I don't care if she's talking about me, but that's not how it works. how it works is that the energy of the gossip is what is going to come back to you. And it's not as you think, bam. You wish or you hope, it's just law. And when I figured this out, everything changed. What you're putting out is coming back. I think actually, Miss Seeley in The Color Purple said it better than anybody.
I knocked you up. Everything you've done to me, already done to you.
Wow, that's so big. Bam! You don't have to believe it. Haters, 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 bam! If you're jealous, wow, the energy of that is coming back, bam! And the same thing is true for love. And here's the biggie. You co-create your life with the energy of your intention. Intention, 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 intention. I rule my life by the principle of intention. I rule my life, my relationships, my business by the principle of intention. Gary Zukav said this about intention. Every action, every thought, and every feeling is motivated by an intention. Think about that. You don't have anything without intention, and that intention is a cause that exists as one with an effect. Now, you don't do anything without intention. The difference between really having great success is being clear, having clarity about what the intention is. And that's why you're sitting in the reality of your life right now, based on and because of your intentions. Your intentions that created your thoughts, your words, your actions. So I don't do anything that I don't consciously intend. Not since like 1989. I think about what is going to be the outcome because the intention is going to determine the outcome. Now, I used to be a very different kind of woman. I used to be the kind of woman who didn't know how to say no. I'd say yes all the time. Because when I first started making money, it was published in the paper how much money I made, so I couldn't say I didn't have it. Y'all should have called me then. Because I didn't know how to say no. And every time somebody asked me to do something, I'd say yes, even though I'd be like, I can't believe they asked me again. I can't believe they're coming back. I can't believe it. And one day I was saying to Stedman, I can't believe this person is calling me again. He says, well, why do you keep saying yes? I said, because I don't want them to think I'm not nice. And he said, but you're not nice. You think you're nice? I go, I think I'm very nice. I think I am Oprah Winfrey nice. Like, on the TV, he goes, generous, kind, nice, nah. So I started to think about it. Am I nice? Am I nice? Am I nice? So here's the test. Here's the test. As I say, once you decide, okay, I'm going to say no, I'm going to do this thing, you will get another lesson showing up in a different pair of pants. This pair of pants, Stevie Wonder was wearing them. So Stevie Wonder calls me and says he wants me to do something for this charity he's doing it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. Even though it's Stevie Wonder. I want Stevie Wonder to like me. Maybe he'll write a song with my name in it. I don't know. But if I tell him no, I'm never gonna get a song. Anyway, because I'd read this principle of intention, I actually said, no, I won't be able to do that, Stevie. And then I waited. I waited for him to say, you are not nice. But he didn't. He said, okay, thanks. And that was it. And that's the day I learned no is actually a complete sentence. That when you say it and you mean it, people go away. They go away. They stop asking you. And if they continue to ask you, then your next question has to be, what part of no did you not understand? It's a complete sentence. So that started to change the way I moved through the world. Oh, only do what you really intend to do. Because this is what I call that the disease to please that I and so many other women have. This is what happens when you do the thing that you don't want to do. Men don't have this issue. I can see you don't right now. You bring. And the one great lesson I've learned is that Glinda the Good Witch, one of my favorite spiritual teachings is The Wizard of Oz. Glinda the Good Witch, when she says to the Wicked Witch of the West, go away, you have no power here. Oh my goodness, that's one of the greatest, you know, all the years of the Oprah show, so many people were always in such dysfunctional trouble because they didn't understand that one principle. They are trying to have power in territory where they had no power. You only have territorial control over this, your energy field. And if you are messing in anybody else's energy field, your child's, your spouse's, your friends, you have no power there. Your number one job is to maintain this energy field, your own. And your greatest power is your ability to love. Your greatest power is your ability to show that, receive it, and be it. And you can't just be it whispering in the wind. It's in the greatest acts and the most difficult of times where love gets to show up in the form of grace, in the form of understanding. That's where your power lies. And there's always a second chance. You know, when I was 14 years old, worst year of my life. That's why I was so happy to see what Kim is doing with Standing Strong with these girls. Because when you're a girl, you need to have somebody to help you stand strong. Well, I didn't. I was raped at 9, and from 9 to 14 was molested by various family members. By the time I was 14, I was pregnant and didn't even know what it was. Didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what a gestation period was. I was acting out. I had run away from home. I hadn't decided how I was going to handle it. Was I going to kill myself? I just didn't know. I'd run away from home, and I got caught, brought back home by the police. My mother said she was disgusted with me and was going to put me in a detention home for bad girls. And I remember going to the detention home with her, sitting, waiting for her to fill out the forms, and thinking, this is the worst day of my life. I'm going to now be put in the bad girls' home because I'm a bad girl. And my mother picked up her purse and her jacket, and she said, let's go. And we get outside, and she said, they didn't have enough room. Their beds are full. So there's no room for you there. I'm going to send you to live with your father. So the next week I am in Nashville, Tennessee, pregnant, hiding the pregnancy, 14 years old. I come into my father's house, and he says, I don't know what's been going on up there with your mother, but now that you're here, there's some new rules. You won't be running away, because if you run away, you might as well stay. You're going to have a curfew. You're not going to be dating boys, because the worst thing that could happen is for you to get pregnant, he says. Bring shame on this family and ruin our family name. So I thought, I'm going to have to kill myself. I really did. I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And not long after that, my ankle started to swell. I didn't know that your ankles swell when you're pregnant. I didn't know anything about pregnancy. So my ankle started to swell. They take me to the doctor, to a pediatrician, and the pediatrician says, are you pregnant? And I say, no. Because do you know how people get pregnant? And I say, no. He said, well, either you're pregnant or this is the biggest tumor I've ever seen. And if we take you upstairs and we x-ray you and you're pregnant, then you're going to damage this baby. So, of course, I knew I was pregnant. I was lying, but I was petrified. I was just like, my father's going to kill me. I planned to kill myself before he killed me, truly. And now I don't know what to do. So the thought of having to go home and tell my father, having to tell my father, I went into labor and delivered a baby boy prematurely, who shortly after died. When my father came to see me in the hospital, he said, you get a second chance. Had that baby not died, you were coming out of school and you wouldn't have graduated from high school, because I wasn't going to take care of your child. I couldn't take care of your child because I have to earn a living, so you were going to have to do that. But now you get a second chance. If I were you, I would use that second chance and make the most that you can from it. So I went back to school, and nobody knew at school that I'd become pregnant, because this was in 1968. I wouldn't have been allowed back in school if they had known. And shortly after that, I heard a speech in the auditorium from the Reverend Jesse Jackson, civil rights leader at the time. He gave a speech on excellence, and he said, excellence is the best deterrent to racism. Therefore, be excellent. And excellence is the best deterrent to sexism. So be excellent. I like that. I like the way that sounded. I took that, I wrote that, put that on my mirror. Excellent. I'm going to be excellent. No matter what I do, I'm going to be excellent. I tried to tell everybody that that pregnancy resulted from abuse. Nobody in my family wanted to hear it or believe it. So I chose in that moment to take the second chance and turn it around and use that mistake to propel me forward. I didn't understand at the time that your life, my life, was speaking to me, and that every single thing that happens is happening to move you forward, even in the darkest, most dismal moments of despair. But everything that shows up that you have some power over usually comes in a whisper. It comes in a whisper, and a whisper is like, wow, I'm surprised that door is open. That's the third time he's come in here late, smelling like someone else's perfume. That's off. It's just like that. It's like little droplets of water. And if you don't pay attention to the whisper, which everybody gets, it gets louder. It's like little pebbles upside your head. You don't pay attention to little pebbles, pebbles show up as bricks. So pebbles are usually a problem. You don't pay attention to the problem turns into a crisis. A lot of brick people in here who don't pay attention, and you gotta get the brick upside your head. Now you're in crisis, or worse, brick wall falling down on your head because you didn't pay attention to the whisper. You came in a whisper and you didn't get into the whisper, so now the pebbles, and now the brick, and now the brick wall, and now you got a full-blown tsunami because you refuse to listen to the whisper. Life is speaking to you, especially in your greatest trials. And what I have learned is failure, mistakes, they're your greatest teacher. It either means keep trying or move yourself in another direction. You make a big, giant mistake, it says, never again, never again will I allow myself to not be brave enough to make the choice that I need to strength. Times strength equals power. 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 And the universal forces of life, all that is God, by every name that it can be called, is ready to move your life in a new direction in an instant, So this night, get ready to claim your power. Claim your power. Claim your power, Perth. Claim your power. See yourself from a different perspective. Stop looking back, holding on to the past. Look ahead in a new direction. And as far as your eye can see, the universe can see beyond. And that is where you're headed. So take your glory and